Mikey's Production Tips is brought to you by Cinema Spice, After Effects tools, video overlays and backgrounds, and sound effects. Hey, this is Mikey. I'm doing a product review. Now, in a past video, and I'll link to it in the description, I talked about this guy right here. This is the Beholder, the HSP, and it's meant for cell phones. And it's a way of stabilizing your footage, and it's really great. I really enjoyed it, loved it, had some really great results with it. The only problem is, I don't always use my cell phone for filming. Now, I thought about getting an upgraded version of it that could hold a camera, but I use the GH4, and at the time their current upgraded version wasn't quite strong enough to handle the GH4. And then there's the DJI version of the gimbal with the built-in camera. And but the price of that was kind of expensive, and you can't change out the camera easily. You have to get a whole new camera system, and I can't use it with my existing camera. In comes, by the same company, Team Rebel Design, the Beholder. This is the DS1. And what the DS1 is just a beefier, upgraded, best of the best version of their single handheld gimbal. And this works flawlessly with the GH4. So here is an example of shooting just a simple walking scene without any sort of stabilization. This is just the GH4 by itself, handheld. Here's doing the same scene with the DS1 stabilization. Obviously, you can see a big difference. Just for fun, we also shot this scene that is really difficult to do with any other sort of stabilization besides these electronic gimbal style stabilizers. Now let's talk a little bit about the hardware itself. Comes in this nice box where you can put your battery. There's even this extension plate. Sometimes with smaller cameras it's harder to balance, and so you need to kind of extend it and rebalance it. So there's different threaded holes at the bottom, so you can kind of move things around and be able to balance that way. So here's the Beholder. I've already got the base plate on the camera. This slides on. Now, what you want to do is you want to basically get it balanced before you turn it on, right? And it's really easy to do that because what they've done is at the bottom, they've opened it up completely. So I'm gonna just balance it here on my desk, and the bottom of the handle is flat so you can balance it. And I can slide front and back until it's about balanced this way, and I tighten that down. And then to balance it left and right, at the bottom, that piece, that the base plate that goes on your camera can slide left and right as well. Now, unfortunately, a dime is the only coin that will fit in here. The grooves are a little bit small, pennies won't work, so make sure you have a dime with you. Or a screwdriver. But you can tighten it, you know, so since you have access to it because they left that bottom plate open, you can access that real easily. Also, to help keep things balanced, each of these arms can move in and out. So you see I can loosen this right here, move the arm in and out and keep it balanced. After it's balanced, you just turn it on. There's a button on the front. And then it keeps everything nice and steady. What's cool also about this one is there's a joystick, so I can move things, pan it left and right, up and down with the joystick. This thing will also go into low mode. You flip it around and it'll still work, so if you need something down really low, you can hold it that way. At the bottom of the handle is see it's threaded, so I can hook that onto a tripod or a light stand or anything. Now, the GH4 is still kind of a big camera for a little handheld thing like this. And even though I can get it to balance with the screen out, what I have noticed is it just barely balances. And it works most of the time, but sometimes it'll start kind of vibrating, and maybe I need to tweak the balance a little bit more. But with the screen in, it balances a lot better. But as you can see from the footage, really smooth results. And for nearly the same price as the DJI option, I can use it with my existing camera. Right? So really cool piece of hardware. Again, it's the Team Rebel Design Beholder. I did another review on their other product. There's links in the description where you can go and find this. It's something I do recommend. If you're in the market for a handheld, single handheld stabilizer, the Team Rebel Design Beholder, the DS1, top notch. I haven't had any problems with it. The build quality is really nice. Everything's metal. And as you can see, my favorite feature, you can just set it down and it sits like that. So, what do you think of the Beholder DS1? Have you ever used a handheld gimbal before like this? Are you in the market for one? Does this seem like a good price? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you have any other questions about how it works, there's a whole lot to this. I know people are going in and they're hacking some of the settings and be able to give it more options. There's a lot of options. I will link to the description page where you can learn more about it and all the things. There's a lot of things I didn't cover. I just wanted to talk to you about my experience with this. So let me know if you have any other questions in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.